On March 2021, the student researchers undertook this service learning project under their core curriculum class called The Economy, Society, and Sustainable Development.
The core curriculum for Ateneo students is rooted in the Ignatian spirit of being pax in mundi or person in the world. All students are required to take these courses regardless of major, be it in business management, engineering, fine arts, or literature. In the School of Social Sciences, faculty from the different programs such as Development Studies, of which I am part, are invited to teach the core social sciences courses such as SOCSI 13. The service learning project is designed to incorporate the key concepts and frameworks of the core course and the methodologies of the major course to address the specific needs of a partner community. Caloocan Anti-Drug Abuse Office was one of the top choices as I was deeply involved in planning the service learning projects of the students. Community members were easy to collaborate with as communications were swift and transparent. They knew what they needed, and I could see the instant fit of the major course of my students with the community needs.
The target beneficiaries for this project were the graduates of the CARATS program, or Community Assisted Rehab and Research Outpatient Training and Treatment System of CADAO.
Our whole service learning project idea sparked during our orientation meeting with CADAO. Attorney Labastilla, the chief of CADAO, has expressed their problems regarding the approximately 10% employment rate of their graduates. This was due to many factors such as educational attainment, lack of applicable skills, and some level of stigma PWODs experience even after they underwent rehabilitation. It was this one point that kindled in us what we initially thought as being an 8-week process to complete our requirements, but is actually a commitment that we still hold on to.
After the CARATS program in CADAO comes the societal reintegration stage called the Aftercare program. It aims to provide the clients with the necessary adjustment skills so that they can successfully reintegrate back into society. Through the online engagements with the pod leaders and graduates of the program for the service learning project, the group was able to have knowledge that while their main program has already been proven effective and methodologically sound, the Aftercare program still has more room for improvement. Hence, the focus of the group's service learning project is on CADAO's Aftercare program, specifically the employment conditions of PWDs after they graduated from the CARATS program. Our service learning project changed from this to this, and finally to this.
From the development studies perspective, the emphasis was on the SDGs in specific societal contexts. In the beginning, students approached the project from a bookish or heavily theoretical perspective. However, the blend of qualitative methods with actual realities on the ground invited them to appreciate the holistic experience of engaging with a partner community. This group I worked with were quite a ragtag bunch. They lacked coordination in the beginning, and some members were too reticent to define the directions their project could take. But the earnestness is what made them stand out for me. I sincerely believe that they realized the essence of the project when one PWUD opened up about his substance abuse and how this destroyed relationships with his loved ones. The openness of the students to follow this narrative rather than impose their FGD script is what I strongly believe gave their project substantial depth, among other things.
We wanted to show them our appreciation, but perhaps at some point, what we really had to do was to take a step back and revisit whether what we're doing is still for the graduates.
After 8 weeks and 3 online engagements, we were able to present our proposal to different stakeholders of CADAO. The main premise of our proposal is building up a planned foundation for a modular series that aims to provide CADAO graduates the necessary soft skills and internet literacy.
This project aimed to eventually help them find employment options by increasing their chances of getting accepted for a job, as well as raising their confidence in themselves and empowering them through these new skills. Due to time constraints and lack of professional and logistical resources, our service learning project of a modular series is still only in its proposal stage. However, it can be considered as kindling to start a fire, which it kind of ended up being. On our final online engagement with the pod leaders, Ma'am Anita, our NSTP formator, saw an opportunity of a follow-through of this proposal. The Industrial Organizational Psychology Department of the Ateneo Professional Schools was seen as the potential project implementers. should both Ateneo OSCE and CADAO approve of the proposal and the partnership.
It was brought up that they could continue partnering with OSCE if they wished to push through with this proposal.
As students of BS Psychology, our view was mostly under the lens of social and industrial organizational psychology. For one, we were very impressed with the psychological foundation of the treatment program. Our main focus as psychology students was not just their increased chances of employment, but also the empowerment that they would be able to feel when learning and mastering the soft skills. This, along with the family and community integration that the main program already applies, would likely be able to help them in their reintegration to society. As psychology students, this was something we saw as important. Combined with our knowledge gained in the social science 13 classes, we were able to combine and include concepts such as the SGDs and the humanistic approaches to development to further support our project.
Throughout the weeks, we have gone through some major revisions to our project. That was because we were captivated by this idea, or rather this need of the community to secure employment. But of course, unemployment is a multifaceted problem, and choosing which facet to tackle is a challenge in itself. There was a point where we had to be reminded that what was the most important was the involvement, interest, and input of the CADAO graduates themselves, without whose support this project will just fall into pieces. If it claims to be a project for them, then out of all the lenses discussed, theirs is the most valuable. Furthermore, the service learning project was a lesson on humility for us students, as we had to be extra open to differences in ideas and outlooks. Indeed, it takes more than one lens to view a problem, but solving one could also mean more hands on deck, because tackling issues take perspective and multiple of them.